Hey, welcome to Odd Jobs. We're doing a little bit of a renovation inside this old farmhouse. And just thought I'd show you a couple of things that are kind of interesting. So in this section of the house here, we have what was original houses back there, and then an addition here. And the floor levels aren't quite right. So after we opened up this wall, what we had to do here was connect the floors of the original house and the addition, and we did that. And of course I didn't film it because they were busy working, but we're doing the same thing here on yet another another section. There was an addition again, so the third addition, and we're going to bridge the floor of this addition to the floor of that addition. So here was a threshold for an exterior door, which is no longer in use because we did the addition. And what I'm going to be doing is trying to make all this one floor. So hopefully we'll get something going here. Originally, it appears that these floor joists were butted up to a brick wall, an exterior wall, and set on a sill of some kind. And on the original building, or the other addition, these floor joists were set into the brick of the stone wall because it was an exterior wall. These ones, over time, you can see they twisted and bent, and the other one, the other side, stayed straight because they were mortared into the brick wall. My solution is, and I'm not saying this is the best way, but this is the way that I'm going to do it, is I'm going to take this piece of lumber and create, what do you call the piece that's on the end? A header board? Header? Is it a header? Yeah, it's a header. So I'm going to put a header on these ones and try and bring the two together. And hopefully we'll be able to keep a level plane between these two floors. So I'm going to be this is the challenge I'm faced with here is, here's my board. Let's see if I can duplicate it. So this is the slope of our flooring, and you can see it's not making any contact here. So alongside this, I want to sister the piece. It's going to go across here, and I want it to be sitting flat on this. So this angle is the angle that I'm trying to measure. That angle there. So to do that, I'm not quite sure. I'm going to use this 2x6. I'm going to make a template, and I figure this is going to be, I'm going to go cut it. I'm going to go cut it on the side. Is that my line? No, that's my line right there. So I'm going to go cut this. So I'm going to kneel on it to put all the weight on it. And yeah, okay, we'll go for the other side then so you can see what I'm doing. So now I've got this is a 90-degree cut. So I can put that here against my new header, right? And then I can draw this line here. I don't know what angle that is. It's not a friggin' heck, it's not a huge angle, is it? No. But we're gonna go on the table on this. We're gonna go on the saw. Come on, come with me. So I want to cut this line. There we go. So I have this line here. So I'm looking at the laser on it, and it's just a bit off. See that? So I can move this just a hair so that it lines up. It's right there. It's right there. What's that reading? Uh, 1.5 degrees. Now we'll see what that does. So I can take this here now, this angle, and it's going to fit like so. And if you can see it there, yes, and with that there, right, I can put a screw in there. And I'm also going to put a screw in there. So from there to there, we're going to check it again. And that's our template. Because once I screw that sister into here, this is going to provide us something to screw our flooring to. And it's going to bridge it across. And the 3/4 inch plywood is going to tie it all together. As an aside, what you don't see on camera is stuff you do off camera. We emptied out all the rock that was underneath the floor. Some of it was pressing the entire floor up. And by removing it, we allowed the floor to relax a bit, and it's really helped with minimizing the slope between the two floors. Good stuff to do. Okay, got one more piece to put in here. I think it goes this way. That way, that way, this way, and see how it's sloping up? That's kind of what I want. We're going to put this here. So I'm going to put a couple of screws in here so that I can hold it at the right, I guess it's a gradient, eh? Yeah, so put a straight edge across here. I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to put the camera up here so you can see this. All right. Perfect. That's a pretty good angle. So right up here, we're not touching the level, the straight edge. This is how it's going to end up being in the end. So we're going to lift this up till it's sitting flush, right? Yeah, that's it. All right, I'm gonna start a screw there. Right there. Okay, let me get myself into a safe position here. I'm gonna lift this up, and I'm pressing it against the joist from the one part of the house, and it's touching there. Okay, I don't want to lift it like that. I just want it to touch, because it's going to support the floor. There, like that. And while it's held into position, I'm going to put a screw in the backside here. And then I can remove this. And now we've got a slope here. And that slope's gonna help us get from here to there without any wibbly wobbly kind of stuff. So you might think it's crazy, but this little space in here, there's two ways that we can solve that problem. We can make a sister another one that's going to have to rise on it, or we can cut a wedge. And so I cut the wedge because I just think it's going to be easier, and I'm going to hold it in with one nail because screws are going to cover it all up. Right? Yeah, so I'm just going to go along every one. Sorry, I'm marking my studs as I go as well. My joists as I go, right there. Be careful. You're going to mark the ones that you're going to screw into, not the original ones, because the original ones, we're not going to use them anymore. When I was younger, I used to think I was thin. I was younger and I was thinner. Well, I'm still thin. But having my weight on my knees didn't bother me. But the last few years, I'm starting to feel it. And I think it's just, as you get older. And this one, I've already sistered this. So this was the original joist. And because everything was so close and crammed, I decided to use a piece of repurposed wood and sister to it, and that's going to hold well, and the other one's good. And then at the very end, when we get into this point, we're going to return it back to the level of the existing floor. So we're ready for plywood. Woohoo! Let's measure this out. So I don't have a tongue and a groove anywhere else to slide a tongue and groove in. So that means that I can lay the length of it. So 32 inches at that end. And here's a great tip here. This says 8 feet is right here. But here, 88 and a half, right there. 88 and a half. Yeah. It's going to get me on this as a nailing strip for the edge. And that's what I'm going to do there. So 88 and a half. So one of the great joys of working on old houses is reclaiming the wood. This was one of the ceiling joists, 2x6. Yeah, I think it was a ceiling joist. And a lot of it we kept. It's such a good wood. This is a 2x6. 2x6. It's 6 by 2. Those were the good old days. I guess, and it's old growth wood. Not that
the wood that you get now is you have to rip it too. Okay. The wood that you get now, it's young wood. It's still wet when they cut it. It hasn't matured. It hasn't compressed. So this old growth that they back in the 1800s or whatever, the grain is really tight because the wood is the tree has had all the stress on it of growing. So it's, you know, hundreds of years old. And the wood that we're harvesting now is like, man, it's 20 years old, if that. Make it flush there. Make it flush here. And I think I'm going to bring it back a bit. It doesn't have to be right up against it. You don't want to. Okay. Does it have to be squared? Does it have to be solid? Yeah. So drive a handful of screws into that. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I know I covered a lot of stuff and sometimes it was a little vague. If you have any questions or comments, please put them down below. You know, is there another way that I could have done it? I'd like to know, because these are the kinds of things that you run into, and other people's experiences sometimes help. So let me know, and thanks for watching Odd Jobs.